Go.
Okay. I hope y'all can see me good. Can you see me? Okay, anyways. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great and fabulous day because you know I am. So as you can see, we are not in the usual content cam area because I brought my stuff back from New Orleans that I had in the storage, and so that part of my room looks a little crazy right now. So we're just gonna come from the bed. I don't know. Anyways, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about getting out of our comfort zone and going into, well, getting out of our comfort zone and knowing when it is time to move out of a certain season in your life, know when it's time to move on, know when it's time to elevate, because I know a lot of us struggle with it, whether it's relationships, friendships, career-wise, just anything like that. Like, a lot of times we don't know how to move on and be okay with change and allow change to come into our lives, including myself. I tell y'all all the time, content cam is for me. Like, content cam is for me more than it is for you. So yeah, we're just gonna be talking all things that today. But before we get started, remember to like, comment, share my videos. You know, as always, your support means the absolute world. So let's get into the video. So last week I went to New Orleans and celebrated Mardi Gras. If you have not already, please go check out that video. And I had the time of my life. Like, I needed to be out there. I needed to just have a weekend because I feel like since I have graduated, I have been, I mean, of course I still have fun, but I just feel like majority of my days are work. Like, you know, and it is what it is. Like, I'm not complaining, but I just needed a little mini vacay, okay? So I was very grateful to be out there, and you guys know that I went to school in New Orleans, so I got to see all my friends. I got to, you know, go by my old school. Well, not really go by it, but you know, Dillard is there. So every time I go to New Orleans, I automatically think of like my college life and do things that I used to do in college, right? I mean, it's only normal because that was just the environment that I was around and I was in. And so with that, as grateful as I was to be out there and as grateful as I was to have such an amazing time and weekend, it really made me realize how I have moved on from that life. Like, I am out of that season of college. I am out of that season of drinking and being in New Orleans and, you know, partying and being up all night. Now, I'm not shaming nobody who does it because, hey, we're young. Like, I get it. But it just really reminded me that it was time to move on from that season of my life. It just made me really reflect. In fact, I did reflect. Like, me and my friends, we had a whole conversation about it, about moving on from that life and not being afraid to miss out on anything, because you're not missing out on anything. I just realized how much I outgrew that. And if I haven't, how much I need to. Does that make sense? Like, how I need to know that that season of my life and that chapter of my life has ended, and it was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful era. I'm forever grateful for it, but that's no longer me. That's no, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I was out there, I found myself trying to put myself back into that college mode, like doing the same college things, or like you know, trying to like reminisce a little bit. And I'm just like, everybody is in such different places in our lives, so things are not the same, nor should they be. You know, like, you should want to change, you should want to elevate. In fact, you should look back on yourself a year ago from today, and you should see progress from then. I mean, you should. If you don't, I feel like that's a problem, me personally. Like, I don't want to be the same Camry that I was when I was 21. And I'm not saying that I have to elevate in every aspect. I'm nowhere near where I want to be in my career. I'm nowhere near where I want to be personally, relationship wise, just in general. Like, I'm not, but I have made a lot of progress. Even if it's little progress, I've made a lot of progress. And I don't want to be one of those people who get so comfortable in being in a certain season that I know no longer serves me, that I stay in it because it's safe. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to be one of those people who I know I've outgrown a friendship, or I know I've outgrown a job, or I know I have outgrown my the state I'm living in or something, and I know that I am called to do something else, but I'm so scared that I stay where I'm at because it's comfortable. And that's why I brought up the topic of like getting out of your comfort zone and knowing when it's time to move into your next season, because you cannot allow your safe space to have so much power over you, because that's all a comfort zone is. It's a safe zone, if we're being honest. Like a comfort zone is just an area in your life where you keep yourself in so that because you don't want to see what's on the other side. You're too scared to see what's on the other side. And I don't want to be that person. And I was that person. Like, being in New Orleans, I know the vlog, like, it was super nice. It was super fun. It really was. But mentally coming back, I was like, there are a lot of things that I need to reflect on, because I will tell you that I am the queen of comfort zone. I am the queen of not doing things because I'm afraid. It could be smallest things. Like, I remember I literally would be like, oh, I don't know how to cook. So and then one of my friends would be like, you're gonna be a wife and you're just not gonna learn how to cook. And I was like, no, if he wanna learn how to cook, like, if he wanna eat, I mean, he can cook, or he can order out. But it's not about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you're not gonna learn how to cook just because you don't know how. So you're just not gonna try. Like, you're not going to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone. Like, small things like that you think don't matter, and you're just like, whatever. It's like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know how to cook. If I try to cook, this food is gonna come out like shit. So there's no point in me cooking. But that's just me being fear-based and being like, I don't want to cook because I don't want to have to deal with the judgment of people. I don't want to have to deal with the judgment of myself. And I don't want to look like a failure in both areas, to them and to me. Like, because if it don't taste good, I'm going to associate that with failure. And that should not be the case. Like, you should want to be able to learn new things and be okay with messing up, because a lot of people, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone, or they don't want to try new things, or they don't want to leave the season that they're in, that they know they're not supposed to be in anymore, because they don't like the idea of failing. They don't like the idea of making a mistake. I know I don't. I don't. I'm not a perfectionist, but I don't, like, who wants to hear that they fucked up, you know? So I say all that to say that I was the person who, I mean, I talk about content cam all the time. I'm like, I'm not gonna put myself out there because what if I fail? What if it is? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, how long are you gonna stay in your comfort zone? Do you know that if you sit in your comfort zone and you don't complete your purpose or whatever, because that's what it boils down to, you're gonna be doing the same thing for the rest of your life because it's comfortable, and you're missing out on all the great things that God has planned for you. So if you choose not to do that, that not only shows the lack of trust that you have within yourself, but that shows the lack of trust that you have within Him. You're saying, like, God, I trust you a little bit, like, or you saying I don't trust Him at all. Like, if you're not gonna do it, why not? Because it goes back to, like, a lack of trust. Like, you feel so safe within where you are that you're not trying to take fear head on, if that makes sense. Like, you're not trying to embrace fear because you you don't want to feel that feeling. Like, I don't know, it just really got me thinking. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that this is for my girls out there. I mean, men too, but you know, content cam is really for the girlies. But I don't want any of y'all to be mediocre. I know that sounds harsh, but I really don't. I want y'all to push yourself to higher standards and to push yourself for greatness. Embrace those challenges. They were placed on your heart for a reason. Am I saying it's gonna be easy? Hell no, like it's not. But learn how to embrace these challenges and know that you are going to get through them, because I feel like with challenges shows you how strong you really can be, and that molds your character, that molds the relationship that you have with yourself, that molds the trust that you have within yourself. So don't run away from it. Don't just be so comfortable in being safe and taking the easy way out. That's another thing. That's one of my friends, shout out to Johnny, he says that all the time. Don't take the easy way out. It's easier to do that. And I was the queen of that. Y'all, I'm telling you, like, one of my biggest mottos is I work smarter, not harder. I always say that, work smarter, not harder. And I mean, to a degree, yeah, I don't want to work harder if I don't have to. But if I never challenge myself, I'm never gonna grow. If I never challenge myself and push and persevere through things that are tough, I'm never gonna really see how tough I can really be. I'm not. And honestly, I deserve better than that. I deserve to know that I can do better than that. You deserve to know that you can do better than that. And you can get through it. You can get through it. If you put your trust in the right provider, if you put your trust where it needs to be, you're gonna get through it. I read this quote the other day. It's on Pinterest. I'm gonna put it in here. It says, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So all those things that keep coming to your brain that you're like, oh, I want to do this one day, but it's like always an excuse. Tackle that head on. That's one of my main goals of 2024, is to start tackling my deepest desires, even if I'm afraid of it. Even if I'm afraid of it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to push myself to do it because I want to challenge myself. Now, some people don't know how to challenge themselves healthily. Some people, when, like how I said with the whole cooking thing, I would be like, oh, I don't know how to cook. It's going to taste like shit, so I'm not going to cook. That is associated, like, I'm then shaming myself afterwards instead of being like, okay, Camry, you're learning how to cook. The first meal may not taste amazing, but you know what to do next time. That's the point of mistakes. Like, the point of mistakes is so you can learn better the next time, so you can grow each and every time. If you never make a mistake, you're not going to grow. So you just have to learn how to talk to yourself and talk and work with yourself and know that you're going to make a mistake and allow mistakes to happen. You're a human, you know? And like I said, I'm talking to me because I do this all the time to this day. Like, if I make a mistake, I will harp on it. I'll be like, oh, like I messed up. It's all good. Like, that is a part of the human experience. So let yourself do it and just know that sometimes it's time for you, that part of your life, it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to get out of your comfort zone. It's time for you to get out of your safe zone. It's time for you to get out of this season that you just want to hold on to for forever and ever. And I'm not just talking about the whole dealer thing. Like, I see this in everyday life. Like, have you ever seen them 40-year-olds who still are out partying every day, still are out doing things that they were doing when they were 20, 21 years old? Yeah, that's not okay. It's not. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, live life to the fullest, I guess, but why don't, the whole point of life is so you can make progress and be the best of your abilities. So if you're still doing the same shit and it obviously is not working out for you, why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep allowing yourself to do the same cycle and be mediocre? Think on it. Think on it. I know this is a little harsh, but sometimes you just gotta hear it. So, you know, all I'm saying is, if you know that it's time for you to move on from that job, it's time for you to move out of that relationship that you have been praying to get out of for years, it's time for you to move on from the friendship or anything like that in your life, do it. Do it. Believe in yourself enough to do it, because I promise you, the safe zone is only gonna make you miserable. It's only going to stunt your growth. Eventually, you're gonna get tired of being in the safe zone. You're gonna get tired of being in your comfort zone, and you're gonna miss out on life because you just want to be comfortable. You don't want to do anything that makes you uncomfortable. That's not the right way to live, okay? You're better than that. You are better than that. You got this. I'm rooting for you. So now we're gonna do some key takeaways. This is a new little thing I'm doing. Key takeaways from today's episode, okay? The first key takeaway: know when a season has come to an end, okay? We already talked about this. If you know that it's time for you to move on, it's time for you to elevate in the best way possible, pray on it and start making steps in order to do it. The next key takeaway: reflect on where you are and how you can elevate going forward. So this goes back to the whole where you were a year ago. Look at yourself now. And I'm not a big person, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big person to be like, I don't like to put time steps on things. So I'm not saying go and be like, oh, a year from now I want to be in this position, because you don't really plan stuff. Everything is already planned according to God, so you just kind of gotta follow what He has planned for you. But what I'm saying is, start making like your vision board or your goals of the year or the goals of 5 years. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta tackle it all at once, but something off of that checklist needs to be done. If you want to lose weight, if you want to learn more stuff in your career, if you want to eventually move to a new state, are you applying to jobs, you want to graduate college, like all those things, just make sure that you are setting goals for yourself to make yourself better, instead of sitting around expecting things to be handed to you, because that's not how life works, okay? So it's okay though, we're gonna take them steps. So the last key takeaway: tackle fear head on. Get out of your comfort zone. So I'm saying, with anything, get out of your comfort zone. Do it. Show up for yourself. That's what it is. Show up for yourself. Know that you can get through it. Challenge yourself and be gentle as you challenge yourself. Know that you are going to make mistakes sometimes. Know that everything is not going to be perfect, but know that everything is temporary and it's going to be okay in the end. So that's my Content Cam episode. We are growing and elevating as always, and getting out of our comfort zones because we deserve it. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, because I did. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos, and I will see you guys next week on episode 21 of Content Cam. And kisses.